Hello and welcome to BYJU'S IAS, presenting to you the daily quiz for 28th of July 2021. But before we begin, BYJU'S IAS has introduced a dedicated platform to help you students improve your answer writing skills. Here you can write answers to the mains questions that are provided at the end of the Hindu news analysis every day and post it on this portal. Please note that you have the option of either writing it on paper and uploading the images or also typing out your answers. So start writing answers on a regular basis and post it on this portal. You also have the option to evaluate others' answers and also get your answers peer reviewed to get a perspective of what should be included in your answers. The link to this answer writing portal will be provided in the description box below. Consistently following this will help you better your answer writing skills. So start writing today. Now let us begin and have a look at the first question for today. Consider the following statements with respect to Commissions of Inquiry Act 1952. A commission set up under the Act shall have the powers of a civil court while trying a suit under the Code of Civil Procedure. Inquiry commissions set up by the central government can make an inquiry into the matters relatable to any of the entries in the union list or concurrent list only. If a state has appointed an inquiry commission, then the centre cannot set up a parallel commission on the same subject matter. Which of the given statements is or are correct? What is the context? The West Bengal government has set up an inquiry commission. This has been set up to look into the allegations of snooping on politicians, activists and journalists, which is believed to have been carried out using an Israeli spyware named Pegasus. In this backdrop, we must know what this Commission of Inquiry Act 1952 is, who can set up the inquiry commission, and other such details. So let us understand this in detail as we answer the question. Under the Commissions of Inquiry Act 1952, both the state governments as well as the centre can set up inquiry commissions. When such a commission is set up to look into the matters under the Code of Civil Procedure, that is any civil proceedings, it will have the powers of a civil court. That is, it can ask any person, irrespective of the privilege that the person enjoys under any law, to give out information that will facilitate the inquiry. Therefore, statement number 1 becomes correct. This also rules out option B. Now, we know that the state and the centre both can set up such commissions. But if the commission is set up by the centre, it can inquire into matters relating to subjects in the union list, the concurrent list as well as the state list. Therefore, statement 2 becomes incorrect. So, what if the commission is set up by the state government as is the current case? It can inquire into matters relating to subjects in the state and the concurrent lists only. Can both set up inquiry commissions on the same matter? This depends on who sets up the commission first. If the centre appoints an inquiry commission first, then the state government cannot set up a parallel commission on the same subject matter without the approval of the centre. But if a state government has appointed an inquiry commission first, then the centre can appoint another on the same subject if it believes that the scope of the inquiry will extend to 2 or more states. So the statement 3 becomes incorrect. Therefore, the right answer to this question would be option A, 1 only. Moving on to question number 2. Consider the following statements with respect to Dholavira. It is in the Khadar Island in the Run of Kutch and is located on the Tropic of Cancer. Beads, terracotta, gold, ivory have been excavated from the site. The city demonstrates a sophisticated water management system. First actual remains of horse were found in this region. What is the context? Dholavira has been added to the UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is among the 5 largest Harappan sites and a prominent archaeological site in India that belongs to the Indus Valley civilization. All the facts related to this site becomes very important from the examination point of view. So please take note. Coming back to the question, Dholavira is a site that is located in Gujarat. To be specific, it is located in the Khadar Islands in the Run of Kutch and also located on the Tropic of Cancer. Therefore, the first statement becomes correct. Also note that this is the 4th UNESCO World Heritage Site in Gujarat. Which are the other? Let us know in the comment section below. Statement number 2 is correct because the excavation of the site was initiated by the Archaeological Survey of India. All these elements along with pottery, bronze vessels have been unearthed from this site. Dholavira was an important center of trade. It was an important urban center, please remember this. Now this site has a rectangular shape and an organization. It consists of a citadel, a middle town and a lower town. Due to its location and the water scarcity in the region, Dholavira had a good and sophisticated water management system. And it is also known for extensive use of stones in its construction. Therefore, statement number 3 also becomes correct. However, statement number 4 is incorrect. It was not Dholavira that the first actual remains of horse were found. The task for you is to let us know in which Indus Valley site were the first actual remains of horse found. Post your answers in the comment section. Moving on to question number 3. Which among the following is a US Naval Forces Africa-led all-domain exercise in the East African coastal regions and the West Indian Ocean? Option A, RIMPAC. Option B, Exercise Cutlass Express. Option C, Exercise Sea Breeze. Or option D, Exercise Cobra Gold. What is the context? Talwar, the Indian naval ship, will participate in the Exercise Cutlass Express, and this news is in the Hindu newspaper today. So what is this Cutlass Express? It is an all-domain exercise that is conducted in the coastal regions of East Africa and West Indian Ocean. This exercise is sponsored by US Africa Command and is conducted by the US Naval Forces Africa. The 2021 edition of this exercise involves participation of 12 Eastern African countries as well as the US, UK and India. And in this particular edition, India will assume the trainer's role. Exercise Cutlass Express aims at improving information sharing, planning and operating in this region. It is designed to assess and improve the combined maritime law enforcement capacity and to promote national and regional security in East Africa. So the right answer to this question would be option B, Exercise Cutlass Express. Moving on to question number 4. Nauka recently in news is option A, a space laboratory launched by Russia to be integrated with the International Space Station. Option B, an orbiting infrared observatory that will complement and extend the discoveries of Hubble Space Telescope. Option C, a module on the International Space Station used as a docking port for spacecraft as a door for cosmonauts to go out on spacewalks, launched by JAXA. Option D, India's mission to explore the deep ocean with a focus on deep sea mining and underwater robotics related technologies. What is the context? This article in the Indian Express talks about Nauka, which means science in Russian. It is a space laboratory that will be integrated with the International Space Station. It is the biggest space laboratory that Russia has launched till date. So what will this space laboratory do? This will serve as a research facility in the International Space Station. This Nauka was sent into orbit using a Proton rocket, which is the most powerful in Russia's space inventory. On the International Space Station, Nauka will be attached to the Zvezda module. This Zvezda module is the one that provides life support systems and is also the structural and functional center of the Russian orbital segment. And to make way for Nauka, recently something known as Pirs was detached from the space station. Pirs was used as a docking port for spacecraft and also as a door for the cosmonauts to go out on spacewalks. Now, this will be replaced by Nauka. So the right answer to this question would be option A. Nauka is a space laboratory launched by Russia to be integrated with the International Space Station. Now let us take up a previous year question from Prelims paper 2016. There has been a persistent deficit budget year after year. Which action or actions of the following can be taken by the government to reduce the deficit? Number 1, reducing revenue expenditure, introducing new welfare schemes, rationalizing subsidies, or reducing import duty. Select the correct answer using the code given below. In the case of a budget deficit, what would the government do to reduce the deficit? It will try to reduce its expenditure while increase its incomes, right? Reducing revenue expenditure. Would it result in reduction of expenditure? Yes, therefore this would be correct. Introducing new welfare schemes. Introducing new welfare schemes would mean more expenditure. So this would not be right. Rationalizing subsidies or cutting down of subsidies is carried out to reduce the expenditure. Therefore, this will become correct. Coming to reducing import duty. Though reducing import duty will not have any effect on the expenditure, it will result in lesser income in terms of import duties. So this also will become incorrect. Therefore, the right answer to this question would be option C, 1 and 3 only. Now let us take up the fact of the day, gene banks and gene sanctuaries. What is the context? This article in the PIB talks about scheme for promoting indigenous rice. And this particular article also has a mention of seed banks and gene banks. So let us understand what these gene banks are. Gene bank is a place where germ plasm is conserved. So they are also called as germ plasm banks. So the germ plasm is stored in the form of seeds or pollens or in vitro cultures or as plants growing in the fields. So what is germ plasm? Germ plasm is a living genetic resource such as seeds or tissues that are maintained for the purpose of animal and plant breeding or preservation and other research uses. So there are two different types of gene banks. One would be seed gene bank and the other would be field gene bank. A seed gene bank is a place where germ plasm is conserved in the form of seeds. Seeds become very convenient for storage because they occupy smaller spaces than the whole plants themselves. And in seed gene banks, native variety of seeds are stored. However, seeds of all crops cannot be stored at low temperature in the seed banks, and that is where the field gene bank comes in. So field gene banks are areas of lands where germ plasm collection of growing plants are assembled. So these are in the form of plants. This is also an ex situ conservation of germ plasm. So those plant species that do not produce seeds readily are conserved in the field gene banks. And field gene banks have been established in many countries for different crops. For example, the global collection of coconut has been conserved in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Also, an important fact for you to remember is that the Indian Seed Vault, which is a seed bank, is located in Ladakh. It is located in Changla in Ladakh, which is a high mountain pass in the Greater Himalayas connecting Ladakh with Tibet. This seed vault was built in the year 2010 by the Defense Institute of High Altitude Research and the National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. And this seed bank is the second largest in the world. So which is the first largest? The Svalbard Global Seed Vault is a secure backup facility of the entire world's crop diversity. And this is located in Norway. This seed vault is also called as the Doomsday Seed Vault, which is built to protect millions of food crops from climate change, wars, and natural disasters. Coming to gene sanctuaries. The conservation of germ plasm under natural conditions is referred to as in situ conservation. And this is done by protecting the area from human interference. Such an area is often called as a natural park or a gene sanctuary. These gene sanctuaries have two main advantages. One, it protects the loss of genetic diversity which is caused by human intervention. Number two, it allows natural selection and evolution to operate. So these gene sanctuaries include biosphere reserves as well as national parks. India has set up its first gene sanctuary in the Garo Hills of Meghalaya. Please note that these plant genetic resources are very significant and form the foundation of agriculture as well as food and nutritional security. And in India, the National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources is the nodal institution at the national level for management of plant genetic resources. That is all for today. Thank you for being with us. Keep watching and keep learning.